Can we bring back landscape covers? I love landscape covers. There's something just so satisfying about this that just immediately makes this book appealing to me. Hello and welcome to my channel. In this video we're going to be talking about Tribe of the Accord by Shaun Michael Stone. This was a review copy that was sent to me by the author, and like it does have a really cool cover here. This is a book, and there's also like a some type of computer game that goes along with this apparently, and also I think it's being turned into like a graphic novel and or comics. Or not comic, or something to that effect too. I know he sent me some stuff, and I'll link out some other stuff too in the description for it. And this one is in a prehistoric setting, which I think is interesting because I don't feel like you see that quite a lot. It's not something that's super common, and does probably fall into fantasy. Like, it's not trying to be historical fiction or anything, but it doesn't have like a ton of fantastical elements or anything. It really is just focusing on this prehistoric world and what's going on. There are a few things in there that are kind of like referenced with like spirit animals, that type of thing, but not a ton of the fantasy elements that present. But really cool seeing the prehistoric type of setting, with just the world being different, with the kind of tribal people and everything here. I'm not exactly sure where this is supposed to be set, like in the world. I don't think it tries to set anything specific because once again it's not on like the historical fiction side, so it's just a prehistoric setting. But it works really well, and the descriptions of the world are just kind of cool, and going along with, like I said, the landscape cover, something that I enjoy. So this, I will say, is a YA book, and it is intended for younger readers. And I think this is one too where it probably, like, you're like, I think it said 12 to 18 or something, which I think makes a lot of sense for this type of range. It is a very quick and easy book to get through. It's about 300 pages, but it was super quick to read and fits. And I do think is one that, while it's intended for younger readers, I think that an adult reader can still get a fair amount out of this as well, because it was an enjoyable book. This is about our main character, Adira, who has always lived alone with her father. They're not part of a tribe. And then when he is taken by this kind of like really ruthless and violent group of people from another tribe called the Ursa, she then is trying to figure out how to save him, and also is going to need the help, presumably, of a tribe in order to do so. There's a lot of bits in here where it starts with some familiar beats, I feel like, with her feeling like, she wants to be part of a tribe, wants to know what's out there, doesn't understand why, she just has to do whatever her father tells her and that type of thing. And so we are following her with a lot of coming of age elements, with figuring out who she wants to be and a lot more about the world. And I'll say in general, I mean, this like I said, this is YA, and it doesn't do a lot of the super annoying YA things, but you have some of those elements with a younger character and clashing with other people, and it does have the kind of like lessons as we go along, where like the character is learning more about the world, learning more about how things work, learning more about relationships with other people, and being a part of something, as well as friendships and that type of thing as well. So set up with that sort of thing. It's something too where, like, if you read a lot, I don't feel like you're going to be blown away with like any of like the where the plot's going. You'll probably see coming. There are some other like reveals as well down the line, which I definitely saw coming as well, and it made sense though. But it's set there too where it's not like it's super hiding things from you. It does do a little bit of the thing where characters like, I'll tell you when you're ready, which that always annoys me, but it wasn't like a huge focus or like something that was constantly repeated either. And so I think it did work out. It's a lot of like the feel behind it and the message of, working together and being a part of something and found family. A lot of those things that you get work well. And I will say that the ending too, I thought was actually really satisfying with the way it's done. It does not end in the kind of super predictable way. It's a little bit more complicated than that, which I think worked out really well. But is one that I enjoyed going through here. I commented when I got this that it kind of feels like it's going to have Horizon Zero Dawn vibes. And I will say, especially the beginning part, because we have the younger female character, and then with her father, and they're like outcasts in Horizon Zero Dawn and not a part of the tribe. But then he's in the game, spoiler alert if you haven't played the game, in the game, the father is killed, and so she ends up going off on a quest. And of course, though, you know, Horizon Zero Dawn has giant killer machines. There are definitely no killer machines here. This is very much an actual prehistoric setting, although we have plenty of different types of beasts, which was really cool to see with, you know, direwolves and mammoths and snakes and all kinds of other stuff here. So you do get to see some of that kind of thing as well. But it did have some of those similar vibes, which I thought was kind of cool, seeing like that kind of story, but actually in the actual prehistoric setting, even though it was like half futuristic, half prehistoric in Horizon Zero Dawn. So that immediately had me a bit interested in this. And like I said, this was just very easy to get through. And it does go through too, as well, it's kind of looking at the complex emotions and feelings of growing up and those coming of age elements, but I think it's handled really well here. It's not always just going in the exact direction, or, you know, sometimes the character will do things that are, you know, they're not just going along with everything, they're having trouble with it. And so I think it's the kind of book that, once again, designed for somebody, you know, younger reading it that can really identify with it and feel it. But even if you're, you know, an older person reading it like myself, it's still an enjoyable one. So like I said, enjoyable. Definitely, I think, like, immediately I know I have a cousin who has girls who are right about the right age bracket for this, that I think they're just about old enough for it. So immediately, like, I thought of somebody, I'm like, yeah, I'll probably loan this to them to have them give a read, that kind of thing as well. But if you're looking for just something a little bit different with the prehistoric vibes, like I said, that's not something you see a lot. And so I thought that was really cool to see in it, and like trying something different, also quick and very easy to get through, and so an enjoyable time. And like I said, there are some like tie-in stuff to go with this as well. I don't really game or do graphic novels, so I'll probably stick with just the prose version here. But if that's your kind of thing, there's some other stuff that goes along with it as well. So like I said, I'll make sure to include some links. But definitely one I think worth checking out, and I had a nice time with it. So thanks to the author for sending it on over to me. Those are really my thoughts on Tribe of the Accord by Shaun Michael Stone. Let me know if you've read this one, or if this sounds like something you'd be interested in checking out, or getting for somebody else you know, that kind of thing as well. Always interested to hear from you. Make sure to give the video a like if you enjoyed it. Check the link in the description, as always, for the Wizardly Enclave Discord if you want to chat books, whether this book, other books, any books, really anything at all. It's a lot of fun. We'd love to have you. And of course, if you enjoy my content, make sure to subscribe.